Okay, yesterday we start the review of what we have read. Yeah. Very quickly, we stop at this criteria. How to choose a spiritual path and what is the criteria? The first one, the path has to lead to a complete end of suffering. The second one is final end of suffering. Then the next question, how are we to find such a path? Yeah, a path that can lead us to full and final end of suffering. Until we actually follow the path until we reach a goal, we can't know for sure, for certainty, that where it will lead. For example, even if all of us have faith in Buddhism, but we have not reached the ultimate goal ourselves. So how can we know for sure until we actually walk the path? So we firstly place complete trust in the efficacy of the path. The pursuit of spiritual path is not just like selecting new suit of clothes, try it on, and then if you don't like it, change it to another cloth. It's more like a marriage. Here it says, it's a partner for life, one whose companionship will prove as trustworthy and durable as the pole star in the night sky. Yeah, of course, the actual relationship doesn't really, not exactly reliable. Faced with this, we may think that we have reached a dead end, or we can use personal inclination, or not just flip a coin. If it's tail, maybe I go to Christians. Okay, but here Bhikkhu Bodhi says our selection need not be as blind and uninformed. We have some guidelines to help us. What are the guidelines? 3 criteria presented by Bhikkhu Bodhi. The first, because the path has to lead to a complete and final end of suffering, the teaching has to give, firstly, a full and accurate picture of range of suffering. If the range of suffering is not complete or defective, then the path will not be able to give a correct diagnosis. Yeah? Just as an ailing patient needs a doctor who can make a full diagnosis of the patient's illness. Yeah? If I go to a doctor with a stomach ache and the doctor just give me Panadol, yeah, it probably wouldn't work. Yeah, for every patient that comes to the doctor, oh doctor, I have some issue, the doctor always gives out Panadol. Then how can we ever be relieved from suffering? If that's the teaching. Yeah? Fortunately, the Buddha is not that way. Yeah? The Buddha is like a whole bazaar of medicine available. You have stomach ache, the Buddha has cure for that. Has medicine for that, yeah, not the cure. If you have some issue in your life, the Buddha will advise you accordingly and according to your disposition at that moment, yeah, which level you're at. The second criterion is the correct analysis of the cause giving to suffering. The third one is the path itself. The path that the teaching offers has to remove suffering at its source. Yeah? Not just treat the outside symptoms. So when someone has COVID, yeah, don't just treat the flu, but you have to recover from the virus completely. This one, the path it prescribes might help to remove symptoms and make us feel that all is well. If you know some of the teachings, it does make people feel good. You know? Yeah, I should not mention any, but when all it does is to make you feel good, eventually when there's a crisis in your life, then it it would not be able to help you out during that moment. One afflicted with a fatal disease cannot afford to settle for cosmetic surgery when, below the surface, the cause of his malady continues to thrive. These are the 3 requirements for teaching to propose to offer a true path to end of suffering. First, a full and accurate picture of range of suffering. Second, a correct analysis of the causes. The third one, the means to eradicate the causes of suffering. Actually, I would love if Bhikkhu Bodhi evaluate some other spiritual practices, but okay, Bhikkhu Bodhi focuses here is only the Dhamma. This is like, this whole paragraph is the introduction to the Eightfold Path. To his own disciple, the Buddha is the arouser of the path, unrisen before, producer of the path, not produced before, declarer of the path, not declared before, knower of the path, the seer of the path, the guide along the path. From Majjhima Nikaya 108. And he himself invites the seeker, me, you, all of us, with the promise and challenge. You yourself must strive. The Buddhas are only teachers. The meditative ones who practice the path are released from the bonds of evil. Dhammapada verse 276. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明，不愿罪障悉消除，这是常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, have a what day? Have a normal Friday ahead. Is it Friday? It's Friday. Oh, I lost track of the day.